This is an anime recap video, and in this video, I'm going to show you a girl named Nema, who reincarnates into another world and has the power to tame holy beasts and monsters. The story starts with a young girl walking down the street after leaving her office. Feeling tired from her monthly office tasks, she decides to get some sleep. As she enters her house, she slips and falls to the floor, her head hitting first. Realizing that her body isn't moving, she wonders if she's going to die. Just as she thinks so, her soul comes out from her body and she passes away in the next moment. She then says that all she wants is to live a long life, but it turns out to be a short one. Thinking about her parents, whom she didn't even get to say goodbye to, she cries out loud, expressing that she doesn't want to die like this. Just then, her surrounding area changes, and a guy in white clothes makes an appearance in front of her. The guy tells her that her lifespan is fixed and cannot be changed, but if she helps him with the task, he will change how she dies. It turns out that the guy in front of her is a god. The god then tells her that humans are currently killing other species in a world known as Azdalan, and he wants to reincarnate her into that world so she can decide the fate of the humans. Surprised by this, the young girl informs him that she is sensitive and cannot do something like that. The god informs her that if she completes the given task, he will reward her with special powers, including teleportation and killer abilities. Irritated by this, the young girl reveals that in all her life, she only wanted to pet fluffy things, and petting fluffy animals is the only thing that soothes her exhausted heart. Understanding her feelings, God grants her special powers and tells her that when she reincarnates in another world, she will have the ability to tame beasts, monsters, and all living creatures, but her powers will not work on humans. The young girl shouts out loud and tells him that she didn't agree to his request. However, the next moment she wakes up in a house with her family welcoming her into the world. She is reborn into an Os family, and her parents give her a name called Nefertime. Her older brother and sister call her Nema and begin praising how cute she looks. However, Nema still can't believe that she has really been reincarnated. The narrator then reveals that Nema reincarnates into a city named Larcia, which is the largest of Azdalan's 3 continents and is the home to the kingdom of Gash. Her big brother Ralph is a very gentlemanly guy, and her sister Karna is very energetic. Even her parents are beautiful and kind, except her father who gets cozy sometimes and can be very disappointing. She also has a dog named Dee who always protects her, eating, sleeping, being coddled by her family, and petting fluffy animals. Since this was the life she wanted in her past life, Nema thanks God. The next day, her mother is invited to the royal palace to do some work, but she doesn't know what to do, as her husband is working and her son and daughter are at the academy. Since she cannot take Dee to the royal palace as animals are not allowed there, she asks Nema if she can be a good girl if she takes her there, and Nema happily agrees. On the way to the royal palace, Nema sees people interacting with each other with happiness and joy, and thinks that they don't look like people who will pursue others. At the palace, her mother casts a protective spell on Nema, just to make sure that she remains unharmed while she completes her work in the royal palace. After her mother's departure, Nema sees a bird flying and follows after it, but the bird is too fast, and she gets tired following it. Just as she is about to take some rest, some animals surround her and she begins to pet them. However, their moment is short-lived as a giant white tiger emerges in front of her. Due to her God-gifted powers, the giant white tiger begins to lick her instead of attacking, and Nema hugs him while feeling his fluffy body. The white tiger then puts her on his back and takes her for a ride to the royal palace. Just then, a boy appears, calling the giant white tiger Lars, and telling Nema that Lars may behave well, but he is still a beast and asks her to get down from his back. He takes Nema from his back and holds her in his arms, but Nema hesitates and wants to be put back. The boy gets surprised at the behavior of Lars since he hasn't liked anyone more than him before. He asks Nema about her parents, and she tells him that she belongs to an Os family, and her name is Nema. Hearing the name Os family, the boy takes both of them to an office. There, she meets his father, who is already working in the office. Her father asks her what she is doing in the royal palace, and the boy informs him that he rescued her while she was playing with Lars in the yard. Shocked at this, her father hugs her and then thanks the boy for saving his daughter, calling him his highness. It turns out that the boy is the prince of the kingdom of Gash. He asks Nema to say thank you to the prince, and she obliges, albeit in an ill-mannered way. Just then, the man who was sitting next to her father comes to her, and she formally introduces herself to him. It turns out that the man is Galdi Russ Gash, the king of the kingdom of Gash. Seeing how well-mannered she is, the king takes a liking to her and tells her to come visit the royal palace next time, and he will let her play with Lars again. Later, her mother shouts at her for leaving the assigned room and playing with the Sky Tiger, which is the actual name of the Sky Tiger. Nema tells her that she is friends with Lars, and the king himself invited her to play with him the next time she visits the royal palace. However, her mother asks her to promise her that she will not meet the Sky Tiger when anyone's watching, as he is a special holy beast who uses elemental powers. When asked about elemental powers, her mother tells her that the magic spells they use draw out their mana, but the holy beasts use the divine power that fills this world, and using that energy is known as elementalism, and they use it to bond with their masters. Hearing her mother's words, Nema gets sad but promises her that she will do what she said. However, her parents get shocked at the sudden turn of events, as they thought that only animals are fond of her but can't believe she tamed a sky tiger, realizing that she has some kind of special powers. The next day, Nema arrives again at the royal palace, but this time to observe her brother and sister at school. The maids take her to the spectator area along with her family to watch the training session. Nema sits on the couch and asks about it. Her father tells her that teachers of the school use powerful magic to create soldiers, and the students command them with their mana to battle each other. Just then, the battle between her brother Ralph and one of the students of the school kicks off, and Ralph easily defeats him with his magic powers. Nema cheerfully congratulates her brother for winning the match, but she realizes that she has to go to the bathroom. After returning from the bathroom, she comes across a boy named Tristan who is bullying her brother and telling him that he will easily beat him in the next match. Angered at this, Nema makes fun of him by calling him a dummy who doesn't even know his place. Hearing these harsh words, the boy tries to attack her, but just as he is about to do it, the prince intervenes and stops him at the moment. The prince angrily asks Tristan why he raised a hand against a child, but he fearfully tells him that he will never do such a thing in his life. Hearing this, Ralph asks the prince how he knows about Nema, to which the prince tells him that he helped her the other day when she was lost at the palace. When Nema retaliates, the prince asks her to become his plaything, and in this way, she can come and go from the palace whenever she wants. Nema happily agrees, and the prince trolls her for calling him a brute. He even informs Tristan that Nema is under his protection, and if he ever lays a hand on her, he will perish him on the spot. After that, the prince looks into Nema's eyes, which are black, and wonders about it since this world does not have anyone with it. They then go to the training arena, and this time, it is her older sister Karna's turn. Her test involves using magic to defeat a monster summoned by a magic circle. She then activates the magic circle and summons a mighty holy beast, a fire dragon. Shocked at this, the commander asks the teachers to protect the students, while her father informs the prince that Karna's skill with fire is high, but her skill with water is low. Seeing her sister in trouble, Nema asks her to run, but she decides to fight the holy beast. Just then, Nema runs off and jumps to the training field, and before she can fall off, an anonymous magical energy saves her. She then runs towards the fire dragon and asks everyone not to attack him. The cutest girl, Nema, stops the guards from attacking the dragon. They avoid her, and the fire dragon's attention shifts towards her. He wonders why this little girl is here because it's not the place for her. As Nema talks with him, he tells her that they forcefully summoned him and questions why he would let them go if they are hurting him. However, she informs him that despite having powerful water magic and tough scales, he can get hurt while fighting with others, and she can't bear this cruelty. She expresses her wish to pat his scales, surprising the fire dragon, as she is not terrified. Inspired by her innocence, he bends down so that she can touch him. Watching this, the guards begin to take action, believing the dragon will hurt her, but the prince stops them, informing them that Nema is up to something. Just as she is about to touch his body, she believes his body to be hot, but opposite to her expectations, he is cool and smooth. The fire dragon then tells her that when she turns older, he will recognize her as his master. Before leaving, the fire dragon gives her an orb, saying that it will connect both of them with each other. The fire dragon understands that it would be difficult for Nema to keep the orb with her, so he tells her that she can change its form into whatever she wants to keep around her. After thinking for a while, she turns it into a teddy bear. The fire dragon then tells her that the orb connects them mentally, and she may be able to use his magic through it, which means it will help her when she is in danger. Hearing this, Nema thanks him for his kindness and asks about him, to which the dragon reveals that he is Saul and then leaves. After that, her sister, Karna, holds her in her arms and apologizes for putting her in danger. The prince also takes part by squeezing her cheeks and is glad that she is okay. Nema realizes that despite being clumsy and brute, the prince is worried about her. Watching the situation, the prince orders her father, Daeland, to take care of Nema and find a solution to this situation, believing that power-hungry people will come after her. Hearing this, Daeland believes that if something ever happens, he will kill all of them. This shocks Nema, who believes that the incident is turned into something big. Later, they are warmly welcomed into the court and given an amazing introduction. Many royal personalities are present in court and looking at them, causing Nema to get nervous. Just then, the king and queen arrive, and they discuss the case. The king is well aware of Nema's pact with the fire dragon, but Nema's father clears their misunderstanding, informing them that it is not a formal pact, and she is only eligible to use the power when she is threatened, and confirming that she will not use this power to threaten the kingdom. However, to clarify the king's doubt, he swears by his name, which if he breaks it, he will die. Nema worries about her father and realizes they have gathered to talk about this serious matter. During the discussion, the Royal Magic Research Center Director Seltzer discloses that a magic circle is present, and the girl who has performed the magic is correct, but she hasn't made any flaws, and the fire dragon was forcefully called. He reveals that it was God's will, and it has nothing to do with Karna. Listening to this, Nema yells in her heart, realizing that God hasn't left her alone in this world. She believes God has done this purposely because he wants her to be familiar with all the creatures of this world. But she isn't interested in knowing about them. The high priest also shares his opinion that the holy beasts are the best things that ever happened to this kingdom, and the divine dragon appearing here is a good omen for the kingdom and can boost their spirits, allowing them to rule over the entire world. Hearing the high priest's words, Nema believes that God was talking about these kinds of people who use such flowery language to please the king and brainwash other people. Despite her doubts, she keeps everything aside because her sole purpose is to accompany fluffy animals. While contemplating these matters, the brute prince notices Nema's expression. She feels irritated by this and shoots a furious look at him. On the other hand, the brute prince realizes that she is getting bored with the current situation. So, he suggests to Nema to play with Lars, which the king of the kingdom also approves. Hearing this, her eyes light up with happiness. Lars arrives, and the brute prince whispers something in his ear, causing him to take Nema out of the court. Nema holds his tail, and Lars takes her to his luxurious place. There, she grabs a piece of meat that was already there and offers it to the sky tiger. Without wasting a single second, Lars eats the piece, sparing her tiny hands. Her hands become wet, shocking the people around her who wonder how she is able to feed Lars with her bare hand. Seeing this, a maid gives her a handkerchief, which she takes and says thanks. Watching her cuteness, the maid becomes pleased and runs away, stating that she is not worthy of her kindness. Nema ignores it and continues petting Lars and falls asleep on his body. Just then, his family arrives and sees her sleeping on Lars. Her father, who adores his daughter, admires her beauty as she snoozes. Other generals, who are well aware of the fire dragon's appearance, understand the importance of her pact with the dragon for their land. They want to keep a guard on her to prevent any harm. Nema's father, who can hear everything, is fed up with their selfish conversation, knowing it could harm his daughter, but he prefers to leave as others express their desire to use Nema for their evil purposes. Just then, the high priest arrives and greets everyone. The high priest shares his intention to take Nema under his supervision, aiming to make her a holy maiden through education. Nema's father, aware of the potential manipulation, refuses to hand his daughter over to the high priest's supervision. He rejects the idea, knowing the high priest might turn her into a puppet for his own purposes. The father refuses, believing that the idea of turning his daughter into a doll is insulting to him. Hearing this, the high priest attacks Daland and his wife, sharing his doubts about Nema not being their daughter. He informs them that she does not bear much of a resemblance to their other two children. Just then, Daland's wife, Kula, interrupts their conversation and tells him that she has exchanged the true name vow with her husband, and if she breaks it, she will face divine punishment and bear the mark of fallen on her forehead. She then shows her forehead, shocking the high priest. However, the high priest still doubts her and believes that only Duke Daland perhaps took the true name vow. However, Kula clarifies that she took the oath in the presence of the king, informing everyone that if anyone doubts her again, it would mean challenging the king himself. Later, Lars wakes up Nema by licking her face. She opens her eyes and looks at her parents. They deliver the good news that no one scolds her, and the divine beast has granted her power, so she shouldn't be frightened. At the same time, the king holds Nema in his hands and grants her permission to come to the palace anytime, allowing her to go wherever she wishes. After that, the brute prince takes Nema to his room and intends to introduce her to other fluffy animals in the palace. Just then, Gwyn, the 2nd Brigade of the Royal Guard, arrives and greets the prince. The brute prince tells her that if something ever happens while he is away, she can rely on Gwyn. Nema, surprised at his amused personality, greets him and informs him that she already saw him in the court. Just then, the brute prince orders Gwyn to take Nema into the dragon's stable, shocking Gwyn. He wonders why the prince is sending her to a dangerous place like the dragon's stable. Moving with guards, Nema feels ashamed of herself, questioning why she needs their protection. However, she proceeds because she can do anything for fluffy animals. On the way, she meets Dan, the head of the dragon stable. His clothes are ordinary, as he takes care of dragons voluntarily. He stoops down and greets Nema, causing her to believe that kind people also exist in this world. Observing his appearance, Gwyn criticizes him for not wearing a royal dress like him, and they both begin to exchange hurtful words. It is then revealed that both Gwyn and Dan were classmates at the academy and often messed with each other. To solve this matter, Nema turns their attention to her by pulling their trousers. They realize what they have done to her, and Dan holds her hand, asking her to be cautious, as there can be more dangerous dragons than she imagines. He then shows her some dragons, revealing that the dragons flying in the air are called Lindblooms, while those running without wings are called Lindra. These dragons live in deserts and lake areas, choosing their habitat based on their preferences, preferring these areas as their homes. Seeing this, she desires a head pat on the dragon's head but realizes that Dan is unlikely to allow her. Just then, a red beam appears on her body, attracting the dragons and causing them to rush towards her. Since this has never happened, Dan and others have become vigilant. Dan takes Nema away, but the leader dragon stops them. Nema steps forward and greets the dragon, calling her Gizzle and informing him that, due to Saul's orb, she can talk to them. She shares her wish to play with all of them, and Dan agrees. After that, Gizzle bends down, allowing her to sit on him. Without wasting a single second, the dragon flies away and takes her to the sky, leaving Dan and the others shocked at this sudden turn of events. Gizzle believes that Nema is human but can sense the orb of the fire dragon and knows that she hasn't made a pact with him. Nema reveals that the orb was given to her by the dragon himself, and due to that, she can communicate with other dragons. She greets other dragons, and they welcome her as a maiden dragon. She makes a flower band for the little dragon, but he prefers to eat it. She starts to chase him, while the other little dragons join them, thinking they are playing. She also plays with them in the water and has a lot of fun. While Nema is enjoying her time with the dragons, Dan and Gwyn discuss her. Dan, who knows Gizzle's nature, reveals that, as the leader of dragons, he never lets anyone onto his back. However, Gwyn clarifies his doubt and reveals that Nema was the one who saved the kingdom from the fire dragon. Just then, she returns with Lars and another dragon, shocking everyone. Dan wonders how she can command holy beasts and other dragons, believing that she is not an ordinary girl. The next day, Dan takes Nema to the Beast Knight stables, which have lots of rare animals. There, they meet a guy named Leston Ogma, who is the captain of the Beast Knights Legion. Upon seeing how simple Nema is, Les wonders if she is really the one Dan described to him earlier. It turns out that Dan told him everything about Nema and how she is able to tame the head of the dragons, Gizzle, who never even lets Dan sit on his back. Realizing that he has a little charmer in his stable, he takes this as a challenge and begins to gather more information about her powers. He takes Dan and Nema to the stable of horse, which is maintained by magic so they can live their best lives. Les introduces Nema to the leader of the herd, Yuaz, but her taming powers don't work on him as Yuaz rejects her greetings. She asks Yuaz to play with her, but he also rejects this offer too. Seeing this, Les reveals that Yuaz is a kind horse but sometimes can become selfish, and does not listen to anyone, causing Yuaz to give a sad look. Nema, after hugging Yuaz, reveals that Yuaz is the leader of the herd and does not like anyone he doesn't know getting close, meaning he acts purposely just to avoid humans going near to his herd. Hearing this, Les hugs Yuaz and apologizes to him for not understanding his true feelings, making Nema happy too. After that, both Dan and Nema sit on a white horse named Hugh, who is a very docile horse and is perfect for inexperienced riders. They head towards the beast stables to see more animals, and Nema can't wait to pat and play with them. Upon the way, she encounters the babies of a giant burr and asks what they are doing while digging a hole in the ground. Les reveals that when they get hungry and don't have food, they dig a hole and look for bugs to eat underground. Just then, some of the babies begin chasing after them, to which Les reveals that baby giant burrs want someone to play with them, and they chase everyone they spot. And due to this, a number of beast knights get injured every year. Shocked at this, Nema yells out for help, and Yuaz, who has had enough of this, lets out a big roar, causing the giant burr babies to flee from the scene. Nema thanks Yuaz for his help, and they head towards the beast stables. Upon stopping in the nearby area, Les shows them a group of wakas, considered the fastest animals on the land and used as messengers in emergencies. Hearing the word fastest, Nema yells and wants to ride on one, but Les reveals that she needs a great deal of training to handle the waka's speed. However, a reincarnated girl persists, causing Les to agree to her request. They sit on one of the wakas, Yoshu, and Nema feels how smooth its skin is. Les then tells her about wakas and how to handle their speed, informing her that if she grabs him too hard, he will stop on the spot. Happy at this, Nema wonders how fast he can go but tells him to go as fast as he can. Just then, Waka charges with his speed, causing Nema to wonder what's going on as she cannot breathe. Seeing this, Les believes that if this goes on, she might end up being unconscious. So, he activates a protective spell and casts it on her, causing Nema to experience the speed of the Waka. Upon reaching their destination, Nema states that she will not ride on Wakas again, but Les informs her that this was about 50% of its top speed. Seeing Nema's condition, Dan laughs at her, causing her to argue with him. Suddenly, a Greyhawk arrives and sits on Les's hand, who reveals that they use them to exchange letters. The Greyhawk gives him a letter, and upon reading it, Les reveals that one of his subordinates has caused some trouble in the stable, so they need to head back immediately. However, our reincarnated girl, who wants to play with more fluffy animals, says that she is not done yet and asks Dan to go to the dragon stables. Upon reaching the place, Les is told that a white moose, a rare breed in the capital, has escaped. Hearing this, Les forms a team and orders them to search for the white moose. After they leave, he thinks about the bad things happening to him so far today, including the white moose escaping, Yuaz taking a liking to Nema, and Yoshu, one of the wakas, obediently obeying her orders. However, his bad day becomes even worse as Nema returns with Lars while riding on the back of a white moose. When asked how she tamed it, she reveals that she was returning home after visiting Gizel and found it on the way. Hearing this, Les can't believe that she was able to tame the white moose as well, but asks her to contact him if this kind of situation happens again, to which she happily agrees. Just then, Les believes that Nema must have the power to be loved by any kind of animals, but feels jealous as he wanted this power for himself since he also adores animals too. The next day is our reincarnated girl's birthday. Her parents wish her on her birthday and want to grant one wish of hers, to which Nema reveals that she wants to go to the city. Hearing this, her father, Daleland, first disagrees, saying how dangerous it is for her to go alone. But her mother, Kula, tells her to go with Paul and Karna. After that, she heads to her first shopping, and upon reaching, she wonders how beautiful the market is and how many shops are there. Karna tells her that the royal capital is split into 4 distinct areas, including the noble district, commercial district, common district, and industrial district. This was the wish of the first king, who wanted the city to look beautiful even from the sky. After hearing this, they head to the nearby food shops, and seeing how tasty the food looks, Nema wants to eat it. She asks her sister to teach her how to use money in this world, to which she reveals that the smallest units of currency are called rai, and 10 rais are equal to 1 copper ingot. Hearing this, she heads to the nearby chicken fried shop and orders 3 leg pieces, which cost her 3 copper ingots. After paying the shopkeeper, she heads to her group and gives 1 to Karna, 1 to Paul, and the remaining 1 to her pet dog D, revealing that due to her birthday, she wants to treat everyone as special. Suddenly, she smells something nice and sweet and wonders where it's coming from, but sees the cookie-like things in the nearby shop. When asked about them, Paul reveals that they are pepe, and when they fry the boiled dough, it puffs like that. Hearing this, she runs to the shop and orders 4 pepe, revealing that she wants to give it to D2. Seeing her cute smile and look, the shop lady tells her that if she buys 20 pepe, she will add extra 4 in it with the price of a 1 copper ingot, to which our reincarnated girl happily accepts. She shows Pepe to her sister and informs her that she also bought for mother, father, and everyone at home too. Hearing this, Karna hugs her and says that she is the sweetest little sister in the world. After that, they stop at a nearby tea shop, and one of the girls sitting at the table greets her. The girl, who knows the Os family, starts making fun of Nema, revealing that she has no magic and doesn't even look like her parents, not to mention her creepy black eyes. However, our reincarnated girl's sister scolds her and tells her that her little sister is amazing. Even the royal family accepted her, and she cannot talk to a noble girl who does not even match the power of her family. After that, they head home, and Nema wonders how strong her sister is. Upon opening the door to her room, everyone is present, and they wish her a happy birthday, revealing it to be a surprise for her. Nema, realizing how busy they are with their work but still come to wish her, starts crying and thanking everyone, believing that this is the most amazing day of her life. They then celebrate her birthday, and the queen gives her a necklace and some powerful magic stones. The brute prince also arrives and gives her a magical bracelet, telling her to keep it around her every time as it will protect her from enemies. The others also give Nema gifts, and Les, the captain of the Beast Knight Legion, gives her a rainhawk, who is related to the Greyhawk. Les reveals that yesterday, she was looking at the Greyhawk, and since she cannot handle him because of his big size, he decided to give the Rainhawk to her. After the party, she states that this was the best birthday she ever had and names the Rainhawk Nox. The next day, our reincarnated girl plays with Nox and teaches him how to fly far away in the sky, believing that they are already best friends. While she spends time with Nox, Les and Dan are in awe that she is able to train him in such a short amount of time and believe that her powers are beyond their imagination. Les asks Nema to give Nox a chance to go further in the sky tomorrow, but our reincarnated girl cries and reveals she has to start studying from tomorrow and might not be able to come to this place much anymore. The next day, Nema is introduced to her tutor, who comes into her room and formally introduces herself as Annalie de Sa. Nema looks at her clothes and minimal makeup and believes that she is a picture-perfect lady. However, her thoughts turn to dust as Annalie reveals her true identity after her butler leaves the room. Annalie informs Nema that she needs to work on her manner of speech, revealing that she calls her mother and father Mama and Papa, which our reincarnated girl agrees with. But to her shock, Annalie hits her with the stick, causing Nema to glare at her. Seeing this, the tutor tells her that she is from a noble family, and nobles must never let their emotions show under any circumstances. Before they can go any further, the door knocks, and out comes Nema's butler, who is holding tea for the tutor. Seeing the butler, Annalie returns to her fake kind persona and informs him that they have already become good friends. After that, our cutest girl's hellish studying life starts as Annalie tortures her with sticks and tries to make her a noble lady. She even mocks her by revealing that she taught her brother and sister and they were the talented students she had in a long time. but vows to turn Nema into a proper lady too. After the boring lecture is over, Nema is tired and goes to her room. She thinks about her tutor and believes that there's no way she treated Ralph and Karna like that, revealing that she might be making her a fool. She explains that if she tells all this to her father, he will surely expel her from the kingdom, but mentions that she needs to overcome this by herself and vows that she will not let her win. The next day, Annalie hits her with the stick, telling her that she is slouching yet again. However, our reincarnated girl, instead of giving an angry glare, replies with a cutest smile and informs her that she will be more careful in the future. Nema's cute smile impresses her, but she reveals that that is her business smile, which she learned at work in her past life. Despite this, our reincarnated girl wonders how long she can keep it up. After dinner, Nema leaves the dining room with a sad face, and upon seeing her, her family wonders what happened to their girl, as she never left her plate without cleaning it. Her mother Kula follows her and inquires what's bothering her, but our reincarnated girl, instead of telling her mother about Annalie, runs away to her room. Before she can enter her room, Ralph catches her with his magic and informs her that instead of fighting with him, she should think about the words she needs to say to their mother, as she is in anger mode, which Nema declares 10 billion times scarier than Annalie. Just then, her mother informs her that if her recent sad look is because of Annalie, then why didn't she talk to her about it? To this, Nema reveals that she wants to fight her own fights, and if she told her, then her mother would have interfered in her fight and made her tutor quit. Hearing this, Kula pats her with her finger and reveals that Annalie is known for being a perfect lady in the kingdom. If she challenges her on her own terms, she won't stand a chance. However, she tells her to learn everything from Annalie and acknowledge her opponent, otherwise she will not overcome this fight. Before our reincarnated girl can say anything, her brother, Ralph, uses a magic spell on her which drains the negative emotions from her body and makes her lighter again. He also promises her that he will not interfere in her fight but vows to heal her if she gets caught up in negative emotions like this. Hearing this, Nema smiles and vows to win this fight, also expressing that her brother is a really nice guy and knows how to make her happy. After 1 year, Nema turns into a smart girl who knows how to formally speak, eat, drink, and behave with others. This causes Annalie to acknowledge that she is from a noble family very close to the royal family. Seeing her brightest side, Nema thinks about Annalie and believes that she hasn't seen this look of hers in a year but wonders what's bothering her. She asks Paul about her, and he gives her a note revealing that some of her relatives are ardent believers in the Church of Divine Creation. To this, our reincarnated girl believes that she is from a priest family who talks rubbish, and believes that he is the messenger of God. Wanting to know more about the Church of Divine Creation, Nema asks Annalie about the Aiku Kingdom, which is struggling due to a drought. She reveals that due to the drought, Aiku has lost many lives and has led to a shortage of food. They went to many neighboring countries and churches for help, but only Gash along with 2 other countries decided to help them. She then asks why the Church of Divine Creation hasn't done anything for them, mentioning that they should help them. However, Lady Annalie informs her that their priestesses received a divine revelation from God, mentioning the High Priest. The revelation states that Aiku Kingdom has angered God and helped the Beast People. Due to this, as messengers of God, the Church of Divine Revelation cannot help them, even if they die from the drought. When our reincarnated girl inquires about whether she met the Beast People herself or not, she replies with a hellish smile, revealing that no one wants to meet them as they are too terrifying to approach. Hearing those words, Nema comes to the conclusion that she was feeling awkwardness not because of her strictness, but due to her being suckered into wrong beliefs. Nema, with an angry look, informs her that she would never have imagined that someone like Annalie could be uncouth. Expressing her frustration, Annalie hits her on the cheek, to which our reincarnated girl realizes that this is not education but violence because she feels that she insulted her. Just then, Nema tells her that as the proud daughter of the Os family, she wants to become a fine lady who can help others even if she does not know them. She does not want to bring shame upon her father. Annalie then tells her that political topics must remain in the hands of dukes and kings, and they are not the ones to discuss it. However, Nema tells her that she wants to teach her about how to become a fine lady, a lady who has a great sense of fashion and knows how to please gentlemen and stay silent in their company. But Nema wants to be true to herself and asks Annalie how the ladies of this world make the gentlemen happy, to which Annalie runs away without saying anything. After this incident, Daleland inquires about her cheek, but Nema tells him not to harm Annalie as she wants to win this fight by herself. However, her father gives Annalie a warning not to do this in the future. After another year, our reincarnated girl turns 5 years old, and Daleland tells her that the Os family is in charge of the northern lands of the Gash Kingdom. He has some work to do there, so he wants Nema to come with him, believing that this will help her expand her horizons. Our reincarnated girl happily agrees. After that, they gather around a magic circle, a device used to travel between major cities and places, and teleport to the northern lands of the Gash Kingdom. Upon reaching there, they are welcomed by a man named Warnus Gilva, the proxy lord of the city Arcenta. Nema formally introduces herself and runs to the other side. Upon opening the door, she can't believe her eyes as she finds herself in a beautiful city where snow is falling. It turns into a glacial shower after the snow catches up to her. However, Daeland quickly warms her with his healing magic. He then informs her that in the northern lands, the weather is extremely cold, and they must dress properly to save themselves from catching a cold. He gives her warm clothes, making our reincarnated girl even cuter. They then head to their destinations to do royal capital's work while enjoying their travel on the way. But our cutest girl only wants to play with rare beasts and monsters there. Upon arriving at their destination, they are welcomed by the mayor of the city, who takes them to his office. They serve a delicious meal for them, causing our reincarnated girl to blush. However, Daeland informs the mayor that he heard about the casualties caused by the monsters and is here to make outpost buildings for the knights. This will help withstand the monsters and cull them away from this area. Not only this, Daeland tells Nema that he wants to use her dragon powers to eliminate all the monsters in the forest. This causes our reincarnated girl to panic, who believes that Saul's power will make the forest go up in flames. Hearing this, Daeland suggests Nema seek help from Saul and inquires about the identity of the monsters residing in the Needle Frost Forest. She calls Saul, who, upon checking her location, reveals that there shouldn't have been any monsters in the first place. Now, goblins and some rare frost spiders live there, but they reside much farther to the south. Hearing this, Daeland gets angry and believes that this must be the wrongdoing of some men. He vows to solve this issue by himself. However, our reincarnated girl thinks that this must be the work of the next day. Our reincarnated girl takes out the protective pendant and knife she received on her birthday, revealing that she didn't realize she would be using them soon, but puts them in her bag. Suddenly, Nox arrives, and she tells him that she will be counting on him in their trip to the forest. They then leave the village and head to the forest. On the way, one of the villagers informed Daeland that he has been hunting in this area for decades but has never seen anything like this before. Hearing this, Daeland, who's leading the group and has been traveling for many hours, tells his group to take some rest and eat the lunch they brought. Just as they decide to sit, they hear some voice coming from the nearby tree and quickly back away. One of the knights goes forward and cuts the tree with his sword but gets surprised after seeing that it was only a little rabbit lying on the ground. Hearing the name Rabbit, Nema believes that his skin must be fluffy, but upon reaching there, she sees that he is injured. Just before she can touch him, the rabbit runs away, causing our reincarnated girl to wonder what happened to her powers. However, she runs to the forest to help the little guy, revealing that she cannot leave the little creature alone even if he doesn't like her. Just then, she sees the rabbit and goes toward him, but before she can react, the rabbit jumps on her and hugs her. This causes our reincarnated girl to believe that her powers are not lost, and she still has her taming abilities. She then decides to head to the group to treat the wounds of the wounded rabbit. But the next moment, someone traps her inside a net, and Nema goes unconscious. After waking up, she finds herself surrounded by some monsters and wonders who they are. But after seeing them up close, realizes that they are goblins. One of the goblins comes near to her and tries to eat the rabbit, but Nema stops him, saying that she does not want him to eat the rabbit. Hearing this, the goblin steps back and wonders what he should do, while our reincarnated girl, looking at goblins, believes that they are cute too, but suddenly realizes that they are monsters. Just then, two goblins take her to the nearby cave where she finds a boy and a girl named Nino and Pino inside. Nema asks if they had been kidnapped like her, and the girl confirms but scolds her for asking rubbish questions. The boy informed her that the goblins also kidnapped some adults along with them, and they are being kept in other areas. Hearing those words, our reincarnated girl realizes that they need her help, and she asks Saul to help them with his magic, but Saul informs her that he cannot attack goblins because they are such lowly magic beasts. He tells her that she can use his magic with his will, but for that, she needs to bring out fire from her mouth. Hearing this, Nema rejects his offer and believes that his father and the villagers will save her. Just then, Nema's stomach begins to growl like an alarm, revealing that she is hungry, but realizes that both the boy and girl are also hungry. Seeing this, she decides to head out and look for some food but gets shocked after knocking into a goblin. However, our brave girl, instead of being frightened, asks the goblin if he has some food because they are hungry. The goblin, seeing the cutest girl in front of him, obliges to her request and gives her a fruit, which she finds not edible after finding it bitter. The goblin then peels the fruit and gives it to her, and this time, our reincarnated girl finds it sweet, revealing in blushing humor that she hasn't eaten a sweetest fruit like this before. She then asks for more fruits because she wants to give them to Nino and Pino but realizes that she does not know how to skin it off. Just then, she takes out the knife she received on her birthday and peels the skin off with it. The goblins, who were seeing all this, also try the same and find it very helpful, and in no time, they become friends with our reincarnated girl. Suddenly, she hears some roaring sounds in the cave, and upon reaching, finds a hobgoblin there. The hobgoblin asks the little ones not to bring human children to the cave, causing our reincarnated girl to realize she can have a conversation with him. Nema then asks why they kidnapped them, to which the hobgoblin tells her that it is in their nature, but they protect the lost children and take good care of them even if they are human children. Hearing this, our reincarnated girl then asks why they attack humans, to which the hobgoblin informs her they do that just to survive in this world. When asked the reason behind this, the hobgoblin reveals that they were thrown out of their forest by humans. And not just goblins, the humans also throw kobolds, orcs, and ogres too. He explains that the humans kept pursuing after them, and those who weren't willing to fight or couldn't take the cold perished one by one. But because they were weak, so they kept running and ended up in this forest. Hearing this, our reincarnated girl realizes that this is all humans' fault, and decides to tell her father about it but wonders what she should do about them, realizing that she cannot leave them alone. She asks if they want revenge against the humans, to which the hobgoblin reveals that they just want to go back to their old way of life. Hunting and being hunted alongside animals and monsters and go back being part of the forest. Hearing this, Nema believes that these goblins aren't from this forest, and if they settle here, it will upset the ecosystem of this forest. Just then, she has an idea and whispers it in Hobgoblin's ear. The Hobgoblin likes her idea and asks if they can kill the humans, to which Nema informs him that in the battle, only the fittest survive, but thinks that she can't ensure if the humans will survive, but believes it should work out if they form a contract. Hearing this, the hobgoblin agrees to help her out, but Nema informs him that before this, they need to solve one more problem, which is her father, and if he gets here, he will kill all the goblins with his power. So, she tells him that they need to come up with a plan to make sure her dad will listen to them. After that, she takes the fruit and gives them to Pino and Nino. She tells them about her idea, and for this to work out, they need to get out from this cave. Nino hesitates, saying that goblins are monsters and they don't need to help them out. However, our reincarnated girl believes that goblins had their reasons for doing what they did, and she wants to save them. But if her father finds her out, he will not listen to them. So, she asks for their help too, saying that they just need to become their decoy and pretend like they are being chased by goblins. Tino hesitates, saying that he cannot put her sister's life in danger, even after hearing from Nema that she will cast a protective spell on her. Just then, Nino steps up and informs her that she will help her out, saying that despite being younger than them, she is still trying to protect the lives of goblins, and she will do everything she can to make sure it happens. Hearing this, Nema hugs and they share a sweet moment with each other. Even Nema thanks her for helping her out. After that, according to the plan, Pino and Nino run the forest while being chased by the goblins, and quickly get the attention of the villagers. Seeing this, Dalen tells his knights to protect the children from goblins, which our reincarnated girl already revealed in her plan. According to the plan, the children head towards the villagers, while the goblins upon seeing them head back to their cave. The knights followed them but came upon the hobgoblin and stepped back after seeing it. The hobgoblin informs them that he will release all the children, and before he can say any further, Dalen activates his magic and fires at him, but Nema shields him with Saul's magic. Seeing this, Dalen realizes that it is Saul's magic and asks Nema to come out. Nema, realizing that her plan has been failed, requests his father not to attack and he quickly agrees. However, upon reaching, Dalen changed his mind and tells his knights to attack the hobgoblin with their magic. But Nema still manages to save with Saul's magic. Nema then runs towards the hobgoblin and begins protecting him, revealing that it's not their fault, and they were thrown out of their forest by the humans, and had no choice but to end up here. She then tells her father to listen to what she is saying, and Dalen finally agrees. Just then, Nox arrives and starts chirping, causing our reincarnated girl to realize that the danger is on the way. She sees an evil aura coming from the bushes, and upon seeing it closely with Saul's power, realizes that it's an evil frost spider. Just then, the frost spider charges at them, while our reincarnated girl and her father look in horror and wonder what they should do. Like and comment if you enjoy this video. Subscribe to my channel for more anime recaps, and tell me what anime recap you like to see next in the comments below.